your dreams.
Today I'm just going to be talking about 4-star characters in gacha games and if there still is a point for them. By the way, if you happen to like the content, just leave a like, comment, subscribe. Some people question the point of 4 stars because in gacha games it's 5 stars that basically make the most money out of any banner. It's the 5-star characters that give out the most hype. It's also the one that gives the most revenue for these gacha games. So what is exactly the point of 4-star characters in gacha games? To be honest, I don't really have a real answer. You could probably say that without 4-star characters, 5-star characters wouldn't be as appreciated as much. There are gacha games that don't even make 4 stars anymore, one of them being Tower of Fantasy. Their only 4 stars are the starting ones, and from then on there, they didn't even bother to make any more 4 stars. I think Snowbreak has stopped doing 4 stars too. Their last 4-star was Sirius, which was like over a year ago. I don't think Nikke makes 4 stars anymore either. I think their last 4-star was like some girl in a panda or a polar bear suit. I don't remember. I think Wuthering Waves also might follow this path of no 4 stars anymore because we're in the beginning of Renacita and no Renacita 4-star. I know Renacita just started, but at least Genshin gives out their 4-star whenever a new region comes out. Like for Sumeru, they gave out Kolai. Fontaine, they gave out Lynette. Natlan, they gave out Kachina, and even to this day, all 3 of their games still release 4-star characters. But if 5-star characters generate the most hype and revenue for those games, then what is exactly the point of 4 stars? You can say that they're kind of just like a cope use, right? If you miss the 50-50 on a 5-star, or maybe there's a 5-star you're missing, but you do have like a 4-star alternative, you could probably just use that 4-star alternative instead of just really using the 5-star character. Also, 5-star characters are limited, so if you did miss out on a 5-star character, you're basically just shit out of luck. You're just gonna have to wait until they get a rerun or just use their 4-star alternative. Genshin does have a good example of this. If you don't have Kazuha, you can just use the 4-star alternative Sucrose, or if you don't have Yelan, you can just use a 4-star alternative Xingqiu. If you don't have a 5-star shielder like Zhongli, you can use other alternatives like Diona or Layla, or even Kiara. At least in Genshin, there are 4-star counterparts to 5-star characters. Sure, the 4-star characters might not be as great as their 5-star counterparts, but sometimes you just gotta use what the game gives you. Other cases in which 4-star characters are very good in certain situations is FGO. Now, I haven't played FGO in like 7 years, so bear with me on this, but from what I remembered correctly, their team building system and Fate Grand Order had a cost mechanic. 5-star characters will cost a lot to use, 4-star characters will require less cost to use, and they even got 3 stars, 2 stars, and 1 stars that cost even less to use in a team. In Fate Grand Order, you can't exactly run a team of 5 stars. You do need lower rarity characters. Low rarity characters, especially 1 stars, can actually perform very well in FGO. They also typically buff characters regardless of their rarity, so you can see like a 1-star character even getting even more stronger. Also, FGO lets you make every character into a 5-star character with their grailing system. I don't remember how it works. I remember 1-star characters, I think their max level was like 60 or something, but you could use holy grails to like get them up to level 90 with the 5-star characters. Another instance of 4-star characters or lower being pretty good is Princess Connect. I think every character in that game can basically be a 5-star, whether they were a 2-star or a 1-star. All you had to do was just farm their shards and you can basically make any of the characters a 5-star. Even the starting free-to-play characters you get in Princess Connect are actually pretty fucking good, especially if you ascend them to 5 stars. Now, for instances in which 4-star characters are bad, I've talked about this earlier, in which case that 4-star characters typically get bodied from their 5-star counterpart. Even though this is true, in some gacha games you can still kind of clear the content with the 4-star characters. In Zenless Zone Zero, I main Corrin. I still use her to this day. Sometimes I get the full clear, sometimes I don't. I don't really give a shit. I think most people that invest in 4 stars or just use them as their main, I don't think they really typically give a shit about like the meta or 5-star characters. As I said earlier, 4 stars gives you more options to use if you lack the 5-star version of it, or if you just like the 4-star character's playstyle more than the 5 stars. It's one reason why most people will main a 4 star is because they just typically like that playstyle. 5-star might be the alternative, but it's not the same playstyle. Nikke, on the other hand, is the only gacha I can think of in which 4-star characters are basically borderline useless. Yeah, you might use them in the beginning, but by the time you get to mid-game, and especially end-game, you're not going to be using them that much, especially since with the 160 wall, that requires you to have 5-star characters max duped. So the 4 stars around that point might as well just be trashed or benched. Genshin does have some pretty bad 4 stars. They also have bad 5 stars too. Genshin has an in-game mode that requires you to have 22 characters, and I don't think many free-to-plays or light spenders will have 22 5 stars. So the bad 4-star characters can at least shine somewhat in this game mode. Nikke is the only gacha I can think of that has 4 stars that are just not that useful. Tower Fantasy might come as a close second because I think Tower Fantasy only has 3 or 4 stars. But anyways, I don't think 4 stars are that pointless. I think it just really depends on which gacha game you're playing. Some gacha games just don't really care about the 4-star characters, and I think that's just perfectly fine. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you like 4-star characters? Do you play as 4-star characters? Do you play any gachas that just don't introduce any 4-star characters? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye bye now. Come again soon.